Hello, dear freshers. Welcome to the new arena of Government Rajendra College. I think all of you are, after all, well, even in the panic of worldwide unseen force COVID-19. Actually, the situation bounds everyone to remain anxious and uncertain. An unseen force has already massacred our normal life and activities. In such a situation, we have to face the challenge, and that's why our college authority has taken right decision. We have to face the challenge because we have to survive against this adverse situation. Anyway, at first I would like to introduce myself, as it is my first session as an English teacher of this renowned college of Bangladesh, Government Rajendra College, Faridpur. This is Biplob Sarker, Assistant Professor, English Department, Government Rajendra College. I completed my honors and master's degree in English literature from Bissobharati University, Calcutta, India. Then I took my B.Ed degree from Dhaka TT College. I joined education cadre through 24th BCS education and continuing my profession. Now, today's main argument is the discussion of respective learning, that is English first paper. You know, your syllabus is communicative approach. Previously, you know, in this approach, you have to give equal importance both on 4 basic skills of English language, that is listening, speaking, reading and writing. Without the aptitude of any skill, the purpose will not be served fruitfully. So, in English class, we always try to use English. Okay? Remember it. Try to use English in every sphere of learning. Today I will try to teach you English first paper that I mentioned. Unit all lesson on titled An Unforgettable History. In this lesson, the discussion is on the great historical 7th March speech of our great leader, our father of the nations, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The whole nation knows the importance of this speech in perspective of our liberation, where in the greatest achievement as an independent nation. It is basically compared to the world famous speech of American President Abraham Lincoln, that is Gettysburg speech, you know, or the speech delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. for the right of the black people, entitled I Have a Dream. But I think it is to some extent different from that speech, says, that is, they were the written speech and previously concerned about what is the containing of the speech. But Bangabandhu delivered this speech deliberately. So I think it is to some extent different. Before going to discuss the main argument, the subject matter of this speech, I would like to mention some events, incidents that is very important to understand the background of delivering this speech for better understanding. We know that in 1947, Indian subcontinent was divided into two parts, India and Pakistan. And Pakistan were divided in two parts, that is West Pakistan and East Pakistan. And with the hope of a bright future, we became independent in the name of Pakistan. But unfortunately, the West Pakistan mostly dominated the East Pakistan, that is our country. And there were injustice, inequality, torture, and deprivation of our legal rights. And that's why we have to suffer to have our legal rights. We have to give blood and sacrifice our life to have our rights. And now, historically, in 1952 for the language movement, and 1954, 1958, 1966, 1969, and 1970, we have to give blood for our rights. Now, the main argument, the containing is subject matter of the speech is that Bangabandhu, when after the election of 1970, most of the people, majority of the people out of 69 seats, that is in favor of the leadership of our great leader Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and his party Awami League, secured on 67 seats in East Pakistan and 88 seats in favor of the leader Mr. Bhutto, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in West Pakistan. According to the law, the power was to be handed over to the majority party leader, that is Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. But the ruling party, their mentality is to repress the people of West Pakistan, violating their legal rights. They have actually tortured, and the ruling machine of the West Pakistan converted this land into a crimson land of blood for 23 years. They deprived us of political, economical, and cultural rights in every sectors of the national and international perspectives. And when the government, that is then the ruling leadership of Ayub Khan and next Yahya Khan did not agree to hand over the power to the legally nominated people representatives. And then Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in 1970 on 7th March delivered this speech in Swarwardi Uddan, now that is Swarwardi Uddan, historically renowned ground. In his speech, he presented the running situation and protested against if the power is not handed over, and what happened in that time in the name of handing over the power. And they always made a lame excuse and blamed the leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, but the people were in favor of the leader. There were two parts in this speech. Firstly, that is first part, in his speech there was the description of current situation and how the ruling side was creating tremendous hostile condition for the East Pakistan. And the second part comes up with the direction and declaration of going opposite to the rulers in every sphere, which led to the independence gradually. The Pakistani ruling machine converted this land into a crimson blood, and they deprived of their political, cultural rights of this land, that is East Pakistan. And he mentioned and protested what to do and what he wanted to do at that situation. Let's point out the accusation and demands of the speech from the text to some extent. At first he pointed out that what happened during the previous time, the contemporary time, and there was to hold a session of assembly after the election to form a government and to constitute a constitution after discussing among the representatives, people representatives, but in due time the session was not held because of some lame excuses. The assembly called into session in 25th March. Before, Bangabandhu requested to hold the session, but it was a show to blame the leader and Bangabandhu did not agree to attend the session on 25th March and to sit a round table conference. He demanded and declared his demands as protest. That is, he requested the government to hold the session, to withdraw martial law, and to return all the army personnel to their barracks, and to investigate the way that our people have been murdered, and last of all to hand over the power to the people representative. He even declared that he doesn't want to be the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He wants the legal rights of the deprived people of our country. Anyway, if his demands are not fulfilled, he declared that all the convenient with the government would be shut down. That is, he requested the people to call strike, to stop Secretariat, Supreme Court, the High Court, Judge Court, and semi-government organizations such as OBDA and so on. And he threatened the government, if any massacre of lives and if anybody is shot down, then all the house would be turned into a fort, and requested the people to be prepared with what they have and to face the enemy. Even if he could not order the people, they would be ready. They have to be ready with the weapons what they have to face the enemy. And he even declared that the struggle of this time is the struggle of freedom. The struggle of this time is the struggle for the emancipation. There is the clear outline of our liberation, of our independence under the leadership of this great leader. And after all, most of the people supported in various parties, various ideologies. They supported him and protested the enemy. And after all, what happened in 1971, that is 26 March, and after all, the final victory of 16 December, we know. Now, I would like to point out the main striking features, points, the importance of this speech in our national history. And finally, under the leadership of this great leader, all parties, advisors helped conveniently to form the government. And now I would like to discuss the question pattern of this lesson. That is, you know that you have to face 3 comprehension. First comprehension, you have to answer short question in multiple choice, 15 marks. Second comprehension, that is flow chart. What is flow chart? I will discuss next time. Next, the third comprehension, that is you have to write summary of the context. And there are various questions of this text, that is you may face fill in the blanks with clue or without clue from text or without text. Now, from this point, you have to mention and you have to bear in mind some events, times and incidents. That is, in 1952 what happened, 1954 what happened in 1958, what happened in 1966, what happened in 1969, 1970 and 1971 chronological. You have to bear in mind the incidents of this time, and at the same time what was the direction to the people in favor of the leadership to regain our legal rights, and what was the accusations, what was the point on which Bangabandhu accused the ruling party. You have to bear in mind that points. And after all, you have to read down the text again and again so that you can answer all patterns of questions. When you understand or comprehend the subject matter and the main argument of this text, you will answer all the questions. So, I would like to complete my lecture, and next we'll meet again and discuss more and more. So, you are requested again to read down the text, and at last I wish you are safe and sound, staying at home, and all the best. And that's all today. Thank you very much.